Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I thought about what kind of video I wanted to film, and I realized that I want to just play with my stuff more, particularly my eyeshadow palettes, because that's kind of the most fun for me, is to like play with my eyeshadow palettes. And I don't always have an opportunity to do that if it's not like specifically a tutorial, or if it's specifically a get ready with me or something like that. And so I'm just gonna call this makeup playtime. It might be a palette that, you know, I just haven't used in a long time. You know, it could be that type of thing where I'm just trying to pull out a palette that I haven't used in a long time. It could be something that's a little bit newer, but you know, I just feel like I want to have a video that goes up every so often that is just about playing with makeup. And like I said, it is kind of like focused around eyeshadow because that to me is like the most like fun of it. And you know, I could do some of these where they're full face or some where they're just eyeshadow. I think most of the time it's just going to be the eyeshadow, but you know, of course I'll link everything down below what else I'm wearing. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. You know, let me know what you think of this video, and if you enjoy this type of thing that's not like specifically just like a get ready with me type of thing where I'm chatting about other things and I'm just sort of playing with my stuff. If this is something that you want to continue seeing, definitely give this video a thumbs up so that I know. Let me know in the comments, and you can request eyeshadow palettes if this is the kind of thing that you want to see. You know, you could request an older palette, you could request a newer one, but the palette that I wanted to play with today is somewhat newer. I haven't used it on my channel yet, but I have used it and I just want to play with it more because I just thought it would be fun. And that's the Dose of Colors Friendcation palette. This was their collab with Desi and Katy. And I did not really plan on getting this just because I felt like, yeah, these shimmers are gorgeous, but like, you know, the rest of it is pretty basic, and are they really that special? I actually swatched it in store at Ulta, and yes, it is that special. I think it's really, really gorgeous. I also had a bunch of points, and so I didn't even pay for this palette. I just used my points, so that was kind of nice too. Not that like I didn't pay to get my points, but you get what I'm saying. So I just thought like, well, you know what, I'm gonna get it, and I'm really glad that I did. I've been having fun with it so far, but I just wanted to play with it again. I haven't yet played with this shade right here, which is called, I think, Dirty Money. Yeah. Oops, sorry about that. And so I want to play with that one a little bit and just, I don't know, have some fun with it. I'm going to pull back my hair a little bit here because I just washed it earlier, and so it's still a little bit wet, and haven't like, you know, since it's not dry yet, I haven't like zhuzhed it up a little, so it's just kind of in that state. So I'm going to pull it back a little bit and prime my eyes, my MAC paint pot that I'm trying to pan in my year-long project. I'm making pretty good progress on it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it up completely, but I've certainly gotten much closer than I was before. All right, so I am just going to kind of do the typical crease shades, and then I think I'm going to put that one on my lid. But I might layer some of like this on top just to kind of see what kind of effect that gives. I will say in these makeup playtime videos, some of them may be kind of basic look, some of them may be more creative. It's just kind of whatever I feel like, I guess. You know, it's when I want to play with makeup, and if I have the time and if I'm able to just turn on the camera, then why not? So this may not be like anything revolutionary, but I wanted to play with it. So, all right, so I'm going to take this shade right here, which is the shade Necessary. I guess that shade is Necessary. Oh my God, don't drop it. All right. Has a nice amount of pigment though, even though it looks like a pretty light color. This one is like not light enough to be like a highlight for me, but it's like, it's kind of a weird color. Like it's, you know, it'll be a good shade to like blend out if I need to. And that's the shade Basic. Well, there you go. But it definitely doesn't have like that much pigment for me. Like I think for certainly Desi's skin tone, it would work as like a highlight, but for anybody light, it's gonna be too dark for that. And I don't know. I haven't found a great use for that other than just kind of blending things out a little bit, which is fine, but it's not like a, you know, a matte highlight shade for me. See, this is a pretty dark shade, even though it doesn't look like it's really going to be. You know, like if you were to see this shade on my lid here, you'd think maybe it was this one. Churro. I can go into that shade Basic and just kind of like blend out the edges, because it is good to do that, you know, with this shade. But it's not like, it doesn't have, for me anyway, like it doesn't, you know, it's not light enough to be a highlight, but it's not like dark enough. I don't know if you can really tell, but it's not dark enough to be really any type of transition, like at all. Like maybe just barely, but. So then I'm gonna go into Churro to deepen it up just a little bit. And pretty much do exactly what I just did here, except maybe not quite as blown out. But what's cool about this palette with like all of these beautiful shimmers in there, first of all, you can like layer them to get different types of looks and like mix them. But also like you can create a pretty simple look, like, you know, and you can create a really impactful, simple look. You know, if you just put some of these crease shades, you know, these browns in your crease, you know, and you've even got this like really pretty mauvey shade here, you can create a really beautiful and intense and sparkly look with not very many shadows, which is kind of a cool thing, I think. But you can do a lot more with this palette than it even appears, because of just like the different types of looks, just because of like the different types of shimmers that you have, and like they're really special shimmers, you know, like this blue here, like I don't know if you can see, it has like this like purple shimmer in it. It's just, it's gorgeous. They're really like much more special than they even look like in the pictures. So I would suggest, if you're able to see this in person and swatch it, try and do that, because it's, I mean, you'll end up buying it, let's be honest. But all right, so I'm going to take this darkest brown shade, which is the shade Cheens. I don't know what that means, but whatever. And just kind of put that on the outer corner there. Sorry, got a little overexposed there. I should have gone into a smaller brush, but what can I tell you, I'm lazy. We may deepen that up even more, like once I actually have the shimmer on and all of that stuff, but I think that these mattes are really nice. I mean, not that these are any shades that like I don't have already, but they're nice in this palette, and they really are nice shadows. Like I love the Dose of Colors eyeshadows already. I knew that, but you know, when you get a palette, you don't know what you're gonna get, if it's a different, you know, formula or whatever. But they're so nice. They blend so easily. They're very pigmented, but I don't like really feel like I get any fallout or anything like that. And they just blend so easily, I feel like. So, all right. I don't think that these need a glitter base, but I've mentioned this before, because I have the slightly hooded eyes, I always like to use some type of glitter base. So I am going to do that. I'm going to use the next one, glitter glue here. Just helps with the transfer a little bit. I still get the transfer, unfortunately, but this at least helps a little bit. I think it would be much worse if I didn't do this. So I do one eye at a time. And I kind of like let it get a little bit tacky, like not too, I don't like let it sit for too long, but I like to let it get a little bit tacky. And these you can use your finger, you can use a brush, whatever. I mean, they really are super intense either way. I'm just gonna go in with my finger because I want them to be as intense as I possibly can get them, but they don't even need to be used that way. So I'm gonna go into the shade Dirty Money there. And like I said, I might put this Just a Kiss on top. This is like a topper. You can build it up, but it is a really beautiful like topper shade. You can see like it's a little more sheer than the other shimmers in here, but it's so beautiful. It really does like transform whatever's underneath, which is cool. So the shade Dirty Money, I'm gonna get up close to my mirror just so I can make sure that I don't mess it up, but look how beautiful that shade is. It's a really beautiful like dirty greenish gold. So pretty. So let's put that one on. I'll be right back. Oh my gosh, look how pretty that is. Oh, so gorgeous. I'm like really torn on whether I should use the topper. You know what, maybe I'll test it out on my hand, because It's so beautiful like this. I almost don't want to mess with it. That's what I'm telling you about these shades. Like, I mean, you can mix them and whatever, but they're also just so gorgeous on their own that you don't even need to. But I want to see what this is going to look like if I put a little bit of Just a Kiss on top. But like, look at that swatch. I'm telling you, these are really special. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of Just a Kiss on top just to see like what kind of look. Ooh, okay. Okay, I might do that. I might put a little bit of that on top just because, I'm making a mess here, but just because I think that's gorgeous. But I maybe won't put it on like the whole thing, maybe just like a little bit on top of that, just to like add a little pop of brightness. I might do that. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit more glitter glue because anytime I like layer shimmers, if I don't put a little bit more glitter glue, it's like immediately. Kind of ridiculous, but it's true. Okay, just like a tiny bit. I'm just gonna tap it so that I don't like pick up too much product. And I'm gonna take a little bit of this and just pop it. Oh my God, look at that. Yeah, I'm glad that I did that. It doesn't change it a whole lot, but it just like sort of makes a nice pop in the center there. That is stunning. Okay. All right, I'm gonna kind of blend some things out and I'll be back in a second. All right, so I blended things out. I put a little bit of brown liquid liner. I just thought the brown would be a little softer and kind of go with the tones a little bit more. So I'm going to do the rest of my face off camera and then I will be back to do the lower lash line with you. All right, so I was going to come back and do the lower lash line with you, but honestly, I kept it so simple. I just took these two brown shades here and I just buffed them underneath. So I just kind of did that off camera, but this is the completed look. I hope that you enjoyed this makeup playtime. I really want to make this a series because this was just so fun. Just a no fuss way of playing with some of my eyeshadow palettes that maybe I don't necessarily want to do a tutorial or a get ready with me, you know, and talk about other things. I just want to talk about what I'm doing and just play with one of my palettes. I think this will probably be focused on the eyeshadow palette, but again, if you want me to do a full face makeup playtime, I can certainly do that. And if there are any products in particular that you want me to focus on, I can do that as well. You know, if there are certain eyeshadow palettes that you'd love to see me play with, definitely comment down below and let me know because I'd love to play with more. I'd love to do this more regularly because this was just so fun to just play a little bit and just do a look for fun, you know? And I also really want to pull in some older palettes into this series, you know, maybe even some ones that are limited edition. So, you know, you may or may not have it. Even if you don't, that's okay too. You know, you could just watch for fun or you can shop your own stash and just use things that are similar. Or if, you know, if you do have the palette, then there's that. But I just think it would be a good way to play with some palettes that I want to give more love to, you know, ones that are older, ones that are, you know, new as well. Like this is, I mean, this is certainly not old, but, you know, it's not the newest thing either. You know, there are new things coming out all the time. So let me know what you think in the comments below. You know, I just had so much fun doing this, so I really hope that you enjoyed watching it. If you like this video, please make sure and give it a big thumbs up. That really does help out my channel so much. I post videos every single Monday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time. If you are not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I would love for you to stick around, and I really hope to see you next time. Bye.